Welcome to the Daily News Network, and today you're on a mission with Jack Sears, where we visit with leaders of business, industry, and nonprofit to talk about their mission both locally and nationally and how they're bringing that into reality. Joining us today is Sandy Lighterman with the Film Florida and Film Lauderdale organization. Welcome to the show, Sandy.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. So I know that you are in the nonprofit space doing a very unique, great service for those you serve, but also for all citizens in the state of Florida. Why don't you tell us about yourself and tell us about Film Florida and Film Lauderdale?
Okay. Hi, Sandy Lighterman. I have a dual job. I actually am, my paid position is being the film commissioner for Greater Fort Lauderdale, and my non-paid position is actually being the president of Non Florida, which is Film Florida, which is the nonprofit statewide organization that represents the screen industry, throughout the state, from Pensacola to Key West. There's over 500 members, and that includes individual members, that includes businesses, production companies, marketing companies, all walks of life that contribute, are in the screen industry or are a supplemental company that services the screen industry. So with Film Florida, I work on, with the state, with a board of directors, with membership on, developing the industry throughout the state of Florida, keeping it nourished, and keeping it going, because the screen industry brings in a lot of economic development. It brings in tourism to the state of Florida. So right. It's as being a nonprofit, it's membership financed, basically. So our members are the ones that's membership based, okay. And that's how we're financed. And but we're here to actually just keep growing the industry in the state of Florida. And that's with Film Florida. As Film Lauderdale, I represent obviously more local, and I'm here to represent and bring in production from out of the state, as well as develop local screen industry content creators and storytellers within my area, so that brings in high wage jobs for a lot of individuals, all the way from the lowest to the highest paid on set. So it's definitely economic development when it comes to hiring crew, as well as a very big into influx of a lot of fast money into small businesses and to communities.
Perfect. Wow, man, that's a lot of plates on sticks to keep up on the air. That's for sure. So hey, look, which came first, the chicken and the egg? Film Florida or Film Lauderdale? And how did you get into this kind of work?
Well, let's say Film Lauderdale came first, but let's go back a bit way. So I've been in the industry since I was 9 years old. I was in the film industry since I was 9. I was an actress first for a couple of years, and then I decided very young that I wanted to actually go behind the scenes. And I was lucky to get taken under the wing by a mentor when I was about 13 that actually taught me how to be a producer. So I was producing by the time I was 17. I was doing mostly commercials. I actually went to college. I went to Syracuse University first, but finished at University of Miami. Moved out to Los Angeles, was in the industry out in Los Angeles, and then decided I really wanted to bring Los Angeles back to my home state of Florida. And I did. I had a couple of different production companies, commercial and music video production companies. And then I also freelanced on the television series and the feature film side of the business. And then I was raising kids as a single mom, and I needed to step away to raise my kids, to step away for a little bit, I thought. So I kind of stepped away from the industry. I was going to take some time off, and that taking off time made me realize I needed to take off more time to really be present for my two sons. And I then became the Miami-Dade County Film Commissioner, and I took that position. I was there 14 years, and then I left that 3 years ago to come up to Broward to develop the region. And so that's where I sit. And I've been involved with Film Florida now 17 years I've been on the Film Commission side. I've been involved in Film Florida, and I've now been president for coming up the tail end of 2 years and running again for a third year as being president of Film Florida. So it was definitely Film Lauderdale and all the other things before Film Florida, but it's kind of been hand in hand since I've been in the position of being a film.
Wow. I can tell that there's a lot of passion that you bring to the table in what you're doing and what you have been doing over your career and your life. That is incredible. In the time that we have left, what's the future look like for the film industry in Florida?
Well, we are at a disadvantage in the state because we don't have the state incentive, and most other states do. That brings it at a disadvantage, because just like when you go shopping at, let's say, and to viewers that know Florida, Publix, right? You go to Publix, and then there's Winn-Dixie, and if Publix has a BOGO, you're going to go to Publix before you're going to go to Winn-Dixie. That's kind of the same thing that we deal with, unfortunately, when it comes to the industry as a business. And if others are offering, financial incentives, then that puts it at a disadvantage. The advantage that we do have, though, is, Florida is very hard to replicate when it comes to shooting us. So if a story requires to have, the setting of Florida, we're lucky that we still get, a lot of business because of that. Weather helps with that, but it still doesn't make us as competitive as we'd like to be with other states.
Okay.
That said, we are still a busy state. We have a lot of bread and butter for us, and throughout the state are commercials, television commercials, and that continues to be a big deal when it comes to the industry and keeping people employed. We have a lot of independent film that comes here. We do have some TV series that come in and out, so that is also our economy is going with the screen industry. So, and that's sprinkled throughout the state. I would say that the future will be bright as long as we can continue to, attract with I want to say friendly business practices throughout the state. Incentives certainly help, and all of our efforts statewide trying to bring the business together.
Perfect. Well, that is an awesome update. It's great to have had you on the show here to learn more, and what a fascinating career you have and you continue to do on behalf of our citizens and community. So thank you for being with us today. How would those listening in, if they wanted to learn more about you and your work in the film industry in Film Florida, Film Lauderdale, how would they connect with you?
Well, very simple. For Film Lauderdale, you can follow us on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook, and it's just Film Lauderdale, all one word. And the same thing for Film Florida. Film Florida is on Facebook, on Instagram. They're also on Threads. I think on X. I'm not sure if we're still on X with Film Florida, but it's also social media. The FilmFlorida.org also is the website for Film Florida. FilmLauderdale.org for getting in touch with me personally.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for sharing. So, well, that's it, folks. That's the time we have here today, and you've been on a mission with Jack Sears at the Daily News Network. Hopefully you've learned something new. Perhaps you'd like to connect with Sandy and learn more about what she's doing for the film industry here in Florida. If so, be sure to revisit this interview at thedailynewsnetwork.com to learn more. And until we get together next time, here's wishing you good health, much happiness, and remember, treat each other the way you'd like to be treated.